Hi there, Internet people. I'm Y, and today I want to talk about Pascal's wager. I know it's a topic that's been done many times before, but as a new YouTuber, I feel like this is a good place for me to start. I want to be clear from the onset that my focus in this video is not going to be so much on Blaise Pascal's wager, but more the Pascal's wager that has been brought up to me in several conversations with theists. And the first problem that I have is oftentimes when it gets presented, for some reason it gets presented in a way to make it seem like they're talking about a general belief in a deity, which has to be addressed, because if we're just talking about belief in a deity, well, okay, there's no justification for heaven and hell or how to get there. That can be quickly cleared up. Generally, they say, okay, well, I'm talking about the Christian God. Great. Except not, because now we have a either-or fallacy. We have a false dichotomy, because most of this planet is populated by people that are neither atheist nor Christian. Where do we put them? Do we change the atheist column to mean non-Christians? Because in that instance, that box that said nothing before, it now means, well, nothing, or hell, or reincarnation, or even heaven. Who knows? So it becomes a pointless argument. So the only answer is, well, I guess we have to create a whole bunch of columns and a whole bunch of rows and look at each of these boxes in this vast table, and we find, okay, well, if this religion is right, then all of those other groups, they go to hell, presumably. And this one group goes to heaven. But if this religion is right, well, then all of these other people, they go to hell or whatever, and just that group goes to heaven, presumably. We're left with looking at the problem from one of two ways. Either we choose to bet for the best heaven we can find, or hedge ourselves against the worst hell that is there. Now let's be clear. We're no longer talking about a bet. We're choosing between insurance policies, and it's not the very pleasant kind of insurance policy. The best analogy is that it's mafia insurance, except it's like you got all of these different people coming in saying, my boss is going to do this for you if you pay us, but if you don't, these things are going to happen. And you have no reason to believe that this thug or that thug that's trying to extort money from you is any more real than the next one or the last one. So how do you choose? It really just comes down to a matter of looking at the policies. Which one has the worst hell? Maybe I should work the hardest to avoid that one. And this is not even touching on the fact that all of these different things is predicated on the idea that you get to just choose to believe it. And bear in mind, this comes from a Christian argument, a Christian apologetics, where their God believes that, well, he knows every single thought you've ever had, will ever have, before you were even born. So if you're faking it, he's going to know. And you don't get to just choose to genuinely believe. A lot of theists, for some reason, want to argue that you just get to choose to believe it. But believe me, I believe I am at home right now. I do not believe that I'm standing under the beam at Millennium Park. Nope, not there. And I can't just decide to believe that I am. That's just not the way things work. Now, the last part gets a little bit wacky, but it fits. And it has to do with the infinite nature of the punishment and reward. Because while you don't get to choose your beliefs, your actions may affect them. For instance, there is a non-zero chance that if I were to go into a church, I might start believing. It's a very small chance, but considering the reward, I should do it according to Pascal's wager, even if it means skipping out on work. Even if it means that skipping out on work causes me to lose my job, even if. So, no matter what, that's one thing. But we can keep going with this to an absolutely ridiculous level. What are other things that can cause us to Start believing in God, not just choose, but actually supposedly cause it. I keep hearing about DMT. Maybe we should try DMT. It could happen. It's a non-zero chance, so apparently we need to try that. What about near-death experiences? Maybe we should take really risky behavior. Now, of course, any rational person would think, wow, okay, this guy really has gone off the reservation, which, yes, that's the point. The entire wager basically shows that if we acknowledge that belief isn't a choice and it's based upon actions, then our actions lead to those beliefs, then our actions should only be based upon what is going to maximize our chances of believing in this God. And that will mean that everything about our actual life is now meaningless because it takes a backseat to this journey for belief. It's kind of frustrating because atheists are commonly called out for having a bleak outlook on life. Anyway, so to close out, there's a couple things that are off topic, but I couldn't help myself but mention. One of them is there is a channel that I've been recently really into, Kenneth Leonard, Kenneth Leonard, Ken Leo. Anyway, it's an awesome channel. His link is below. Check him out. Finally, I just want to say Jenna Belk has been doing these morning meditations. If you don't know about it, maybe check that out too. I have a stressful job, and lately I have been making a point to watch the live streams that she has for it on Twitch. Sometimes I work is crazy and I don't get to watch it until lunch, but man, they really have been doing wonders for me, and I just want to say thank you because they're the greatest. I don't really know how to end this video. New problems, so be well.